In JG's Morning Cup this morning, science meets philanthropy. A group of Upstate guys created this prosthetic hand using a 3D printer. Here to tell us more about their project, Bob Chauvin and Reed Becker are here with us. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having us.
So I always love when science and philanthropy meet, and there's an artistic a part of this as well. Tell us about how you decided to do this and the larger, I guess, the group that it's a part of.
Well, we're part of 6 people that got together and we decided to buy a printer about 4 months ago. And we printed some small little parts and we couldn't figure out what we were going to print next. Reed came up with the idea of printing a hand.
And just like inspired by superheroes?
Well, we actually started with the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at your alma mater, Furman University.
Go Dens, yeah.
And started to explore 3D printing and design. It got kind of tiring just making toys and little trinkets, so we looked for something of more substance. So we joined an organization called Enable.
And I've been reading about this organization. Yeah. They do tremendous work.
Right, yeah. They're an internet-based social network group comprised of about 3,000 volunteers around the world, actually on 5 different continents. Last year, they provided about 700 free prosthetic devices to people around the world.
So you guys these volunteers just come together to use their love for science and printing, and they create these prosthetic hands, which are then sent off to a child that needs it.
Anywhere in the world.
Children, adults. We've had large drives to. We just produced 250 hands for people in Syria who have lost their hands and arms due to war and accident. And there have been a number of other drives like that.
So instead of just creating something that's going to lay around the house, you wanted to create something that would obviously benefit someone's life.
Right.
So this is awesome. How long does it take you to create something like this?
It takes about 30 hours of printing to create the different parts of the hand. And as you can see, there's a lot of different intricacies that you need to print out. So it's
That's awesome. I think people are really fascinated about this. And of course, the thing I was reading about on the website was the fact that this is especially great for kids, obviously, you know, especially when they need a prosthetic, but they feel like a superhero when they see something like this. Who doesn't want like an Iron Man arm or something like that?
Especially with the young boys, the badder it looks, the better it looks. Okay. Now there are other versions of hands that are look a little bit more normal than this. The way they work is this particular boy is missing most of his hand, and this is actually one of our demos. But this one is the boy is missing most of his hand, so his forearm goes through here. What's available in his palm goes in here, and when he goes to flex it,
still have that range
fingers
of movement.
close, so he can ride. This boy in the past couldn't ride a bicycle, couldn't use the hand to pick up a cup, and you can do some basic things like that with the hand.
Is that the payoff for you guys when you see these pictures or videos that come back and you see something that you created?
Yeah, that's one of the payoffs. Our other real goal is to bring 3D printing and design into schools as a STEM or a STEAM project. And it's one thing for adults to make a hand for a little boy or another adult, but it's think of the potential of a classroom of kids making a hand for one of their peers.
Because you have that learning aspect of it, but when it's something that's so fun and so beneficial and so good for the community and for the world, there's always something added into that. There's the arts element to it, the science and technology, and of course you see a lot in the news about getting more projects like this in science into the school. So this is awesome.
And I'm glad you mentioned arts, because most people don't recognize that this is a very much an engineering type of project. Although the badness of the hand, there's an artness element to it. But over here are other things that we've printed that are artistic in nature, and one of the things that people don't recognize is that the vast majority of what's done in 3D printing is actually artistic. Hence, not only do we want to incorporate this into STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, and math, but art. So you
and
add
we've
the
had
edge.
Artists here on the show that have printed out. IT2Pi has been here.
Okay.
And they've done that as well. So we always like seeing what they're able to create. You had something you wanted to mention.
Yeah, what I was talking about is I brought some different, people have asked us, what type of stuff do you print? This is wood.
This is wood.
That's wood. So you can print product in wood. This is one of these is bamboo.
So
and you can print in bamboo.
So 3D printing has really opened up a whole new world when it comes to what you're able to produce. I know they're using them, testing them at least in some of medical ways. Obviously with this is a form of a medical device.
Right, exactly. Here's our next hand. You can look at that. That's the next hand that we're thinking about doing.
That's awesome.
Now, isn't that something?
Yeah.
How can people get involved with what you're doing, or maybe they have some spare time and they're wanting to get involved with 3D printing, or maybe join you guys? How can they find you?
They can either call either of us. I can be reached at reedbecker@gmail.com. Bob Chobin can be reached at
Chobin@yousucceed.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're very much, at this point we have 3 schools that have indicated an interest in getting involved with the hands. If we're successful in getting these schools started, we're going to need more volunteers to help bring these programs.
We'll have you guys back to talk about that when you're in some schools. And
that would be great.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We definitely appreciate you.
We would like to award you an Enable pen.
Awesome.
So that's for you.
I will use it with pride. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.